Building a portfolio with Fidelity Basket Portfolios is kind of like making a sandwich. It's as simple as picking your stocks and ETFs, sort of like your meats and other topics, and managing it as one big, juicy investment. Now that's pretty good. Learn more at fidelity.com/baskets. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
In Walmart's Who Newville, everyone ready their cart. Amazing Black Friday deals are about to start. Online and in the app, such great deals to explore. Everything you love from tech, toys, and more. The days to save and the ones to remember. It's only the 25th to the 30th of November. Set your alarms. Don't miss out. These deals are epic, without a doubt. The Who's are all ready, but are you? Walmart Black Friday deals await. Who knew?
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back in Disney's Freakier Friday, now streaming on Disney+.
We switched bodies.
I am freaking out right now. I think I just peed a little.
It's an absolute riot. And the only movie that can be described as
so much weirder than the last time.
What last time?
It's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
Disney's Freakier Friday, now streaming on Disney+, rated PG.
Milano Cortina 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of the first ever Paralympic Winter Games. And if that wasn't reason enough to celebrate, we should also see one of Great Britain's most successful sporting partnerships finally make their Paralympics debut. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and our guests in this special episode of the podcast with GB Snowsport are such a special team that they even introduced themselves together.
Hi, I'm Menna Fitzpatrick.
And hi, I'm Katie Guest. And we're really excited for the Paralympics in March 2026 in Cortina.
6 Paralympic medals, including 1 gold, means that Menna Fitzpatrick is Britain's most decorated winter Paralympian ever. The alpine skier made her debut in Pyeongchang in 2018, before the COVID Games of Beijing in 2022. Along with her guide, Katie Guest, they've become world champions, have been on the podium at a dozen or so World Cups, and won a brace of prestigious Crystal Globe titles. But they've never competed together in the Winter Paralympics. Hard to believe.
Coming up, we'll hear how Menna and Katie formed their unique partnership, the intricacies of how it all works, both on and off the snow, and how they hope to compete in 5 events in Milano Cortina 2026 in the downhill, slalom, giant slalom, super combined, and super G.
I say this every time, but the first 2 years of the cycle goes really slowly, and then the second 2 just go like so quickly. Super excited that it's actually closer to home, so it means more family and friends can come out, and it's on a better time zone for people to watch. And yeah, after being injured last season, just actually getting back racing again is really exciting.
And Katie, I'm sure that we'll get into this a little bit more, but you missed Beijing, so this one obviously must be something that you have had penciled in the calendar for quite some time.
Yeah, I think fingers crossed no more infectious diseases hit the planet this year. But yeah, super excited to actually have my foot in the door, and we'll hopefully together both make it to Cortina safely this year. So,
Menna, firstly, how are you? You said about the fact that you were injured.
So we're actually back into full training now. I returned in like August, in Chile, proper speed camp. And then we got our first races 9th, 10th of December in Austria. So that means that we're getting really close to the racing season beginning, really.
And how was it coming back onto the snow after the leg surgery?
I have to say it was a bit nerve-wracking, and it did take a bit of a long time to get it all back and feeling fit and strong. But we just built up the training and kept building, and now in a really good place and a really good headspace to get racing.
And Katie, what are you doing then when Menna's injured? So how do you then keep on top of your role, if you like?
So whilst Menna was injured, I, like every other athlete, spent far longer in the gym than I maybe had planned for a winter. But yeah, had same regular 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. gym slot every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Got my cardio sessions in. I actually went out guiding with a few other athletes, and it was really interesting actually to sort of go with other VI athletes and just see the difference in communication between all of them. And it's definitely given me more ideas of what I can help bring back to men and say, oh, this is what Fred Warburton's been doing. Would you like to give it a go? So I think that's been really interesting. And then also, yeah, I've been working as well because I'm a part-time physio back up in Edinburgh. So it's actually really nice having sort of work as well to keep my mind off things. So it's been actually, last winter flew by.
So I guess take every challenge as a learning opportunity, a development opportunity for you, Katie?
Yeah, I think so. I think just being sort of a guide on a Paralympic program, you're obviously not the main athlete in the situation. So unfortunately, when Menna got injured, that's my season also simultaneously over. But it's just trying to find opportunities to go out and train with the team, work on my individual skiing, like I say, make sure that the dry land's there, and like I'm still getting the fitness gains over the winter. So when Menna comes back, or when she did come back in May and August, I was actually still ready to go, and I wasn't obviously on the return to snow as well. So I think that was really good.
And Katie, you mentioned the fact that you might have watched some other people doing it and maybe learn from that. Menna, how does the partnership come together? How did you guys get together, and what's the main strength of your partnership?
So firstly, like Katie has been guided other athletes Millie Knight in the past, and you were her reserve guide, weren't you? That meant that she was all like sort of in the loop, really, and I knew that she had the guiding skills, which is always useful. And I know that you'd already skied competitively yourself, which also meant that you had the skills. And so we need somebody who has all those skills and that wider outlook on things, I guess. But yeah, I think the trust and the relationship that we've got together is really strong. I mean, we spent 5 years together, through thick and thin, really, and like testing those things in skiing and off the slope. So just gains trust every time we do things.
Did she give you a job interview, Katie?
I'm not sure job interview was the way.
Practical, I think. Give it a go.
Yeah, I think canyoning in Spain was possibly the first time that I guided Menna down anything. So I think out of a snow dome, that might have been the first outdoor sort of activity we'd done together. So yeah, thrown in the deep end, but it's, like I say, we've been super lucky how it's worked. And I think actually we won our first races together when I came on. So it's sort of been a partnership that's worked.
And Katie, you described Menna earlier in the interview as the main athlete, but who's in charge?
Ooh.
I
reckon it's both.
It's both. I think when the training day's done.
Yeah, that's my call, to be fair. Yeah, and the speed at which we travel at, that's technically mine as well. But she does give me the instructions.
And is it a case of maybe one of you's in charge in terms of organising the training, the logistics, making sure you're at the airport on time, but then the other one's in charge in competition on the slope?
We're actually really lucky, and we have fantastic coaching and sort of wider staff, and they organise all the flights for us and logistics. And I live up in Edinburgh, Menna's based down in Manchester, so actually getting to the airports, we just have to trust each other are going to get to the airport, and we're going to see each other in the destination that we're going to. But I think, for timings and everything, I think that's probably on me.
Race day timings.
I wear the watch. So I'm making sure that we're there on time. And I don't think we've ever been late to anything. No. So touch wood. Yeah, that carries on.
And Menna, you said that you decide the speed while you guys are racing. How does that communication happen? Is it literally yelling faster, or what? How does it work?
Again, we're really lucky that we have like Bluetooth headsets on the helmets, so thankfully it saves our voices from shouting at each other. But yeah, it's down to me how fast I want to push it, and it's keeping the distance really close. So I'll say off or with you or on the line or something like that to help Katie gauge the distance. as well as Katie will look behind and check that I'm still with her, and whether she needs to slow down, speed up and stuff like that. Yeah, depending on the discipline, we've got a wide range of different comms and communication styles as well. And like the tone of voice is really important for me as well. So it's complete varied between disciplines.
Now, obviously, I don't want you to give away any of your top class secrets for your competitors, but Katie, what kind of language would you use to guide Menna?
I think what Menna sort of touched on there is tone's quite a big one. I think in speed, so the faster disciplines in Super G and downhill, I would definitely remain much calmer and have sort of the one tone almost throughout, and it being quite encouraging. Whereas in slalom, it's very snappy and it's go. But I think it's been sort of over the 5 years we've sort of tried so many different things as to what helps us with the timing or the direction. But we've definitely started using sort of more clock faces, especially in speed, so that Menna knows kind of what direction to go. So if we've got a roller and I sort of disappear over, Menna's like, right, we agreed 2 o'clock. I'll sort of stay in the 2 o'clock direction, and then coming over that roll, hopefully she can find me again or find the gate, and then we're back on. So I think it is just sort of playing around with trying to work out what communications work best for which hill, which sort of conditions.
Which light.
The flatter the light, obviously would change that, and then the speeds that we're traveling at, again, it just is very variable and depending on moods. So I think it's taken us a while to find what days sort of have what comms. So I think it's not the same for every race or every run for that matter. It's sort of very variable.
And I guess there's always that thing in a partnership where you have to manage emotions, both your own and each other's.
Yeah, especially with like during racing as well. Like I get quite nervous going into speed races, and I really take off what Katie's emotions are like as well. So she tries to stay as calm as possible, which then helps me stay as calm as I can. And then for slalom, I like to be a bit more hyped. So it's a bit hard to manage between the two of us. But again, it's something that we practice a lot, and over the years of racing together, we've come to have our own separate little start routines.
Is it just business, or are you mates as well?
We do things off the hill, but I think, like we sort of said earlier, sometimes it's quite difficult when I live up in Edinburgh and Menna's based down in Manchester, but I definitely make the effort to come down and join Menna's family for a few meals throughout the year, and we try and do quite a lot on summer camps together off the hill to try and have that relationship building sort of on snow and off snow.
And Menna, Great Britain's most decorated winter Paralympian. It's not your first rodeo, as they would say. How did you reflect on your winter Paralympics experiences before this one?
Yeah, so I had 2 very different games experiences. Pyeongchang being my first ever. I just wanted to take in everything possible and didn't really expect to come out with the results that we did. Which that was just all about having fun, let's see what we can do sort of thing. Beijing was a bit more pressure after those results, and it being COVID, it was very isolated, separate. There was no crowds there, so it just felt a bit odd, I have to say. But again, we came out with some really good results, despite Katie not being there and swapping guides last minute, and with everything going on with the slope and COVID and all that sort of stuff. So we just had to manage that, and hoping that Cortina's going to be a bit more towards the fun Pyeongchang games experience.
How much of a challenge is it to replace your guide? I mean, all credit to Gary Smith, who came in and contributed, of course, to those medals, but how tough is it for you to lose the person that you kind of work with day in, day out, if you like?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a shock to the system. But I was really lucky that I'd already skied with Gary for a season before Katie came along. So thankfully I knew how he worked, how he skied, and I could almost slot back into what we did. It took maybe few days and to build that trust again and that line and the comms back whilst we were out there. But I think it went pretty well at the end of the day. But I'm really excited to have hopefully Katie there in Milan.
Yeah, let's touch wood. Let's touch everything that we can possibly touch for the next. I mean, Katie, not to hark back on it, but how did you cope with the fact you were obviously not maybe not unwell, but also watching Menna in action?
Yes, I was actually really asymptomatic with it. Is I genuinely didn't even realise I had it until the COVID test came back. But because I was still actually on my physio degree at the time, I was still taking lateral flows with them, and all of them were coming back negative. And it was just the sort of the PCR, like the main ones that just came back saying, "Oh no, it's positive." So I think it was quite hard in that respect, thinking, well, I don't feel ill. Like some tests are coming back negative, some are positive. It's one of those, and I think just the way Beijing and China were with COVID, I think it was safer to stay at home during that time. But it was quite exciting watching Menna. Admittedly, maybe didn't stay up midway through the night to watch them all live. But it was really nice sort of seeing that she'd obviously, her and Gary had slotted back in and were still doing really well. Because we'd just come off gold in the World Championships that year. So I think it was really like almost nice to see Menna carrying on that success for both of us, even though I wasn't there. So I think, and that was really cool to watch.
So looking ahead to Milano Cortina, the first World Cup in Austria in mid-December, is it going all out, or are we still taking baby steps? How do you go about approaching it?
To be honest, we're using these races as training days and training runs. Especially this season is that we want to build on the confidence that we've gained during the last few training camps. So using those races as a bit of a stepping stone in confidence wise, and then do enough that we feel really confident, but not too much that we will get fatigued before the games, because that's really where we want to peak and have the most energy.
Is Menna back to her best?
Yeah, I think, we had a really good training day today, actually, and it was in Super G and it was speed, and it was tricky conditions because it'd been snowing quite a lot yesterday, so it was soft snow. It was a new hill for Menna, and I was like, this could go one of two directions. But actually, by I think the fourth run, we were back in, and I think it's really exciting this year. Is that time off last year Menna spent in the gym, sort of catching up, has actually, I think, put her in a better position to stand on a ski and to let it run. So I'm really hopeful for the season that it should be a good one.
Final question from me then. 5 events at the Winter Paralympics. Realistically, are you going to come back with? Can you come back with the 5 medals?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, we're obviously in it to be competitive, but again, we don't really want to put too much pressure on getting results. We just focus on our training and our racing, and we'll try and do our best, and hopefully we come back with some bling to show off. But we kind of don't want to focus too much on the end result.
Yeah, I think it is just take it as it comes and see how it goes, and then I just think it would be just nice to go out, have the experience and show everyone what we spent the last sort of a few years doing together. So I think it'd be really cool.
Well, we wish you luck and all the best wishes, and we're touching wood and everything that we said earlier. Final question for me. Michael described you earlier, Menna, as Britain's most decorated Winter Paralympian. Is that just what you say to Katie every morning, or every time you go, well, hey, I'm the greatest there ever was?
No, definitely not. No, it's a bit of a weird thing. I think having siblings and stuff like that, they definitely keep you humble, for sure. And I still can't believe that I am and that I have won those medals. I just try and go out there and show and do the sport that I love, really. In
all seriousness, we are very proud of you that you are, and we're glad that you guys are going to be out in Milano Cortina as well, and we can't wait to cover it. So thank you very much for talking to us.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
No, thank you very much for having us on.
That's Menna Fitzpatrick and Katie Guest aiming for medals at the Milano Cortina Paralympics in the 5 5 para-alpine skiing disciplines. Starting on the 6th of March 2026, around 600 athletes from around the world will compete in 79 medal events across 6 different sports. And of course, Anything But Footy wishes Menna and Katie and all the rest of the GB Snowsport team aiming for a place at the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games of 2026 all the very best. Or touch wood, as we've been saying in this case.
Yeah, make sure you follow for more of their stories as we build up to Milano Cortina. This has been a special episode of the podcast with GB Snowsport.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
If you run a Shopify store, listen up. Shopify's got you covered for selling, but when your shipping volume grows and you're juggling multiple plugins just to get orders out the door, you need tools that can keep up. Stop duct taping your shipping workflow and use the tools that work better together, like Shopify and ShipStation. Think of ShipStation as Shopify's dedicated shipping partner. ShipStation goes beyond just shipping labels to save you time and money by automating the entire order fulfillment process. From syncing your orders all the way through inventory management and returns. Automate the rate browser to select the lowest rates on shipments, with discounts up to 90% off major carriers like USPS, UPS, and FedEx. No wonder businesses that use ShipStation grow 3 times faster on average and ship 15 times more orders. See how ShipStation can help you scale and boost your Shopify sales. Go to ShipStation.com and access all features free for 30 days. No credit card or contract required. Cancel anytime. That's ShipStation.com.